Hey guys, what's going on? Hannah Eden here. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for being here. We're here again for Flow Fridays. Today I'm going to show you a kettlebell flow. It's going to be a single arm flow. I'm going to do it on the right, then I'm going to do it on the left, and then I'm going to pick up a lighter bell and demonstrate exactly how to do it for you. We'll break it down step by step, tiny little tutorials, then we'll put it all together, and then you can follow along with me at the end. So if you're ready, let's get into things. Stop, baby. All right, so now I'm going to show you the same thing, but from a side angle so you can see exactly what's happening with my body. Here we go. All right, let's break it down into a tutorial. I have a light bell here to get started. This is an intermediate to an advanced flow, so if you're a beginner, I highly suggest pressing pause and coming back for another Flow Fridays that something's a little bit more accessible for you. So if you are an intermediate to an advanced, you should be able to understand all of these movements independently, but now this is where we play with our minds to see if we can stitch them all together seamlessly. So we're going to start with a kettlebell clean on the right side. We've already gone over a couple different variations that you're going to see from me. They're not wrong, they're just different. So one clean is where we hinge our hips go backwards, we thrust the hips using our posterior chain to come up and clean into our front rack. In this flow, we are going to see a hinge or a swing clean, but we're also going to see a strict clean, which is more of a squatting motion than a hinging motion, and the bell will travel in a straight line versus coming between our legs and being thrusted in a forward motion. So the first one we're going to start with is a hinge clean. So kettlebell is on the right side, feet are about shoulder width apart. We're going to soften the knees, karate chop, and hinge the hips backwards. We're going to tilt the bell towards us, lock in our shoulder and lock in our lat. From here we're going to hike the bell between the legs. We're going to receive it in that front rack position. Nice strong fist, wrist, elbow and pinky knuckle are stacked right on top of each other. We're not looking for a broken wrist here. So with it nice and tight on the body, we've hit our clean. Then we're going to go for an overhead press. Strict if you can. If you need to use your legs, a little dip with a drive. Wrist, elbow, shoulder stacked on top of our hip, knee and ankle. Once we're done, we're going to go for a windmill. There's a few different ways of doing a windmill. I'm going to show you one variation, but I'm also going to show you another one too. And this is where mobility comes into play. Shoulder mobility with internal rotation, hip mobility, and just overall flexibility throughout the body. So once the right arm is up, right now my feet are facing forward. I'm going to pivot my feet 45 degrees in the opposite direction of the hand that's holding onto the bell. Now, if you don't have great mobility in your lower body or in your shoulder, you may need to bend both of your knees, internally rotate, keeping your eyes always at the bell and tracking the inside of your left leg. Boom. You come down as low as you feel comfortable. It's okay with a bend in the knees. If you don't need to bend your knees, I'm gonna have a soft front leg, a locked out back leg, and I'm gonna try and hinge my hips out to the side. Sending my hip out to the side as far as I can, keeping my arm nice and strong, punching up on that bell. Once you're done with your windmill, we're gonna pivot our feet backwards, and we're gonna pull it with control to front rack. Now we're back in that same position we were for our clean. Now we're gonna go for a lateral lunge, which would look like this. However, I'm going to pivot my body almost 180 degrees, which means both feet need to pivot as I step into that leg that is bending. So I step out and out to the side. And now if you see me from the side, what I didn't do is try and go forward. I tried to sit my hip backwards as low as I can. If you want, point this toe up to the ceiling, or you can keep it planted on the floor and go as deep as you would like. You're gonna hit that lateral lunge as you twist, then you're gonna come back to this square position again. Once you receive yourself back in that square position, we're gonna go for one swing switch, which is where we move the bell from the right side over to the left. Once we receive it in that left side, we're gonna go immediately into a snatch. So, swing switch, catch it, and snatch it. Now we're in this overhead position, but in the opposite side. Wrist, elbow, shoulder, stacked again, ribs are tucked, everything is nice and clenched. Once you're here, you're gonna pull it to front rack again. Now, I'm on the left side. I'm gonna go for a seesaw lunge. I'm gonna go for a reverse lunge directly into a forward lunge. So I'm gonna hold the bell on the left side, I'm gonna step back with the right leg. Kiss my knee on the floor, step forward, kiss my knee on the floor, and then I'm back in my square position again. Whenever we're going for that lunge, gently kiss and try and keep your knee about stacked on top of your ankle. We don't want it to be too far forward, it's not wrong, just not in today's flow, okay? So keep your knee stacked on top of your ankle and try and aim for your back knee to be around underneath your hip. Whenever you're done with your seesaw, we're back in this square position. I suggest you bring and land with your feet into your squat position because the next move is going to be a single arm thruster, which is a unilateral movement, keeping everything nice and tight. Hips go back, we hit that deep squat, we thrust the hips into an overhead press again. Whenever you're done, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it down. And now, we've seen this figure eight before, we're gonna do it again. We're going for a figure of eight, and I'll show you to begin, and then I will break it down for you. Once we land our figure of eight, we're gonna catch it in a cross-body catch, is what we call it. So between the legs, outside of the knee, over and catching it in the palm, right in front of the opposite shoulder. So, we start on the left side. I'll show you from the side. We are still hinging our hips. Key points. We're gonna pass it through the inside of our leg. You could also do this as a reverse figure of eight and go on the outside, but that's not what we're doing today. So on the inside of the leg, catch it, snap it, and receive it in that opposite hand. So again, starting on the left side, we're going to bring it between the legs, catch it on the outside, snap those hips, and just let the bell finish its momentum, which will be nice and smooth to finish it right in front of your left shoulder. So we're holding on with the right hand, cradling it on the left palm. Whenever we're done here, we're simply going to guide it down to the floor with control, drop your ass into a squat position, stand up and go for a jump squat. Now, if you just take a deep breath, remember at the beginning I told you we see a strict clean or a standing clean versus the hinge clean that we did to begin. This is where we see it. We come straight out of the bottom of a squat, letting go of the left hand and catching it in a strict or standing clean on the right side. Okay, and this is to help you understand something. We're starting on the right side. You do your figure of eight from the left, but we do our strict clean on the right. Now we're on that right side. What are we gonna do? We're gonna go for a swing switch so we can get it to the left side to start the flow all over again. Boom, boom, and then guess what? We've got a clean. We've got a press. We're now gonna pivot our feet to the opposite direction. Whether you go lockout or soften your knees, doesn't matter. Let the body twist. Come down as low as you can. Drive up through that heel. Pull it to front rack. Now we're going for that lateral lunge, but deep onto the other side. So I have to pivot my whole body. Come on down, remember, foot can be flat or toe can be up to the ceiling. Totally up to you. Come back nice and square. Once you're done here, we're gonna go for that swing switch. Directly into that snatch on the right side this time. We're gonna pull it to front rack. We're gonna go for that seesaw lunge. We're gonna step back with the left, kiss the knee. Step forward with the left, kiss the knee. Find yourself again in that nice position. Once we are here, we're gonna go for that single arm squat into a press, which we call the thruster. All the way down, thrust those hips with power, pull it to front rack, and guess where we're at again? Already on that other side for that figure of 8. So in the middle of the legs, catch it behind, and let that momentum come over to the right shoulder this time. Now we're gonna guide it down. Kiss it on the floor if you can. Hit that one jump squat. That one standing or strict clean on the left, because that's what side we're on. One swing switch. You're gonna park the bell. And that all together is called 1 rep. Okay? That was a lot of information right there. Remember, this is the joys of YouTube. You can press pause as many times as you want. You can double click on the screen, it will go back 10 seconds. You can rewind this and nail it. And if I was doing this with you and that you're not quite as confident with the bell, I would learn just the first portion, the clean, the press, the windmill, the lateral lunge. Stop. Do it again, and do it again, until you can do that portion of the flow without watching me. Close your eyes and know. We have a clean, press, pivot, windmill. Pull it back down, lateral lunge. And then once you've found that piece, move on to the next piece. Memorize that, move on to the next piece, memorize that, and then third, put them all together. And you should be able to do this with a mind to muscle connection. I'm gonna now cue it out for us, and you can listen to the words. I'm not gonna give you all the demos, I'm just gonna say clean, press, windmill, pull, swing switch, snatch, and I'm just gonna give us these cues so you can follow along. So here's a little challenge for you though. I want you to try and put this into a workout today. I did this with Erica, which I posted onto my Instagram, and it was awesome. We decided to do 6 rounds, and 1 round or 1 set was 1 rep, which means we did it on the right and the left continuously. Once we were done, we rested for 30 seconds until we did it again. So 6 sets with a 30-second rest in between. 1 set is on both sides. So are you ready? I'm gonna get my other bell, I'm gonna cue us out, and let's see if we can follow along. Here we go. All right, so follow along with me. Here we go, right side to begin, and we're off. Clean, press, pivot, windmill, pull to front rack, swing switch, into a snatch, pull to front rack, seesaw lunge, thruster, pull to front rack, figure of 8, weight is catch, jump squat, strict clean right, swing switch, we're on the left, clean, press, pivot, windmill, pull to front rack, lateral lunge, swing switch, snatch, pull to front rack, seesaw lunge, thruster, pull to front rack, figure of 8, jump squat, strict clean left, swing switch, park it. Booyah! Look at that. Good job, that's 1. Start that timer, rest for 30 seconds, rewind if you need to. We're gonna do that for a total of 6 times. Don't forget, if you like what you saw today, I want you to do me one favor. Smash that subscribe button, like the video, and comment below with what your thoughts were and what you'd like to see more of next time. I'm Hannah Eden, thank you so much for being here. Have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you next Friday.